Yo guys, welcome to our after show for Keijo. Man, we're gonna have some real fun talking about this show now that we're in the little discussion part, because that was just, there's boobs and butts. My buddy Malesh and my buddy Brandon, who watches anime, they're buttsmen, but I'm one of the boobsmen, and I'm like, man, there's something for everybody here. There's something if you like midriffs, there's something if you like thighs, if you're a weirdo and you like girls' faces, they're all beautiful women.
This you want them thick.
This was fan service in the extreme, man. It's like, if you're a straight male, just accept it. Don't be a prude. Like I said in the review, I think some anime newbies, like people I've seen, like I watch a moe anime, their first anime, and they're like, that's dumb, I hate Japan now. And it's like, no, you just picked a bad one. I think some people might be like, because there's some shots in this anime, you know, if you're watching this after show, where they will go right overhead, and you can see the whole package. You can see every outline of the women's, under area, very detailed drawn. It's skin tight. It's like form-fitting. So I think some people might be like, wow, is that what Japan thinks of women? Objectifying women or whatnot? Maybe some social justice warriors might not like Keijo, but if you're that stuck up, go watch something else, I guess. If you're not stuck up and you're not, like, offended by the female form, just watch it, man. Enjoy it for what it is. Like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. If you're like us and, like, your mom walks in and you're watching this, if you pause at any moment, it's just gonna look weird. Your parents gonna be like, oh, I guess my son's a degenerate.
Oh, I guess that was a mistake.
But whatever. Here, you mentioned kind of what you thought about the show. I'm gonna pull up this discussion I had with my friend watching Keijo, because I had some hilarious lines about what I thought of Keijo.
Yeah,
I wanna bring it up.
Just in general, Keijo was a fun show, for sure. Definitely had some downsides. I remember reading a lot of the Reddit discussions about it, how some people were kind of, I believe they kind of like a lot of the beginning chapters of the manga because it had a lot of like character development arcs, and they were just like, nah. I get it. It's only 12 episodes, and most sports to me are generally longer than most, and they usually do get multiple seasons. So there's hope for Keijo to have another season or two. I'm not really sure how it's selling in Japan at the moment, but usually Japanese people like this kind of stuff, so let's hope, guys.
Yeah, so here's a little bit of what I said. I was like, because I watch a lot of fighting games, and I was talking to my friend Eric, who also watches fighting games. And there's a lot of things that I think were inspired by fighting games, and I just Street Fighter. I think little bits of Street Fighter, Marvel, Tekken, and like every fighting game was kind of in Keijo, because they had special moves for sure. I was like, bruh, they're doing butt parries, and I was like, oh my god, Eric, they're doing the Naruto hand thing, because one of the chicks did a little bit of this, and then did like a butt jutsu, and I'm like, butt jutsu? Now they're making fun of Naruto. They had Attack on Titan, making fun of that. Malesh said they're making fun of Face Day something. I didn't even know what it was, because I didn't know what the anime was, so I didn't even know it was a reference. Like, the copycat ability, in real life, if you touch a butt, you can't be like, I have absorbed powers. That was some Space Jam stuff. I was like, this is like the basketball from Space Jam, where you're like, I have absorbed powers. I was cracking up. They got like Flash level speeds and like freaking vacuum butt cannon. And I'm like, this is impossible in real life. This is like Dragon Ball stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot more like, you don't see sports anime today.
Yeah, one time I texted in all caps. I was like, a 4-way level 3 assist super move, because they got assist supers in Marvel. Where like because they said Marvel's a team-based fighting game. Oh, I just heard somebody out there saw me for a moment. So you got other characters coming in, because in Keijo they got like 3 butts on one chick. It's like, yo, it's an assist. That's an assist from Marvel. Crossover attack. It's pretty funny. And the subtitles, man. Oh my god. Yeah, I really get so hyped when I'm playing Eric. I'm like, bro, they got you can absorb abilities. I got like double KOs. I even told Eric, I was like, I've never been this hyped in an anime in my whole life. Even watching One Punch Man, I was just like, yo, he's gonna punch him. But I'm watching Keijo, I'm like, yo, super ultra moves, combos. They had combos. The one chick said, Shoryu Oppai, which I know is Oppai is boobs, so it's a pun. But in the subs, it said Shoryu cans. And I'm like, see, they even made a new pun in translation. And it works in the sub and in the thing. So, I know, yeah, it was good subs, man. Who was your favorite character?
Probably either Miyata or Alba, because they're the most developed characters. Beyond those two, I like Nozomi. I thought she was a pretty standard sports anime protag, so she was fun to watch. But I liked some of the other characters too. They were all like I said in the review, they were all developed really greatly. So it's hard for me to care that much about most of the characters. But I still like them inherently, but they weren't it's my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not a little wife material, really. I wasn't a huge fan of Alba because her ability was just the butt cushion. And it was like, yeah, what is that?
No, that was Alba was known was the one that had the butt cushion.
Wow, man, I can't pay attention to names when there's just boobs and butts there. The names just go right over my head. I mean, who was my favorite? I think I wasn't a huge fan of the chicks who had the weird clenching butts and just used brute force.
Yeah, that was gross.
Because those butts are I'm like butts don't clench like that. Like glutes, just that's not what muscles look like underneath the skin. Yeah, like I said in the review, at least everyone gets mentioned. At least, like for characters where they like don't tell you really about them, like you just kind of see them on the platform and they're like, I'm a Keijo player, but my parents are whatever, and I don't like my life. They took the headphones. She was kind of lame, but at the same time, she was like, she's got some neat abilities.
She was a cutie though.
Yeah, I bet she would have loved Yuri on Ice. She was always talking about the boys love stuff. I liked how the teacher was the professional Keijo player who taught Nozomi. I liked the turnip hill arc moment because I was like, what is this? This is some weird training stuff, but it's like, it's a training montage. It's like every other sports anime.
Yes, it is. I also liked the one girl that was like spoke a little bit of English, a little English.
That was some good English, man.
She was pretty funny because like she's like in the show she was like considered like the most powerful fighter in the school. I kind of wish would have at least seen her and Nozomi go at it one more time.
Just I thought we didn't see enough of her. She had a real weird move with that orgasm move. I'm like, what are you doing? Also, the chick with the cards up her butt. I'm like,
that was great. That was pretty funny because like there's like a GIF of just her continuous cards just coming out, and it's like the best GIF ever. So if you want to check that out, I'm sure you've seen it already.
Yeah, this show is just so wacky. I want to get another season just to see the other school, the Soji or whatever it was called. It was actually kind of funny because it was the East versus West war. And they have that in some Street Fighter tournaments I watch in Japan. So, that just made me think about it. I'm like, yo, East-West war. It made me think about Street Fighter game with all these fighting game tropes. Oh, and I also remember there was a JoJo reference I mentioned to Eric. Because one of the girls, when she does her move, or she like hits her butt real fast, she says, ora, 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 which is one of the war cries. And then they had Attack on Titan. They literally said Attack on Titan. It was Attack on Titan, like a blatant reference.
Yep.
All the other references were a bit more subtle. But then they literally said it.
Yeah, so.
And I was like, that's just funny.
It's always nice seeing other anime reference other anime. What's a nice little illusion.
I told Eric, I said, I don't even have words. It took 11 episodes, but now I am speechless. What is anime? What is Japan? I never will know. And then I'm telling him that I watched it, like, the final episode right when it aired. Because I was so hyped for it. Because by coincidence, I finished up episode 11, like, before it aired, before 12 aired in Japan. And I was like, I'm going to catch it. So season 2, if that happens, I'll be episode 1, day 1. I'll be like, yo, I'm watching this live.
I feel like the first time he's done that.
Yeah, man.
Give me the Keijo. So what shall you do that for?
I know, man. I was like, dude, they're absorbing super moves. They got, like, critical art hits. They got 1v1s. Like, this is, like, man. It's just so funny. I'm just making so many fighting game references. If you like fighting games, and you like, if you got friends who like fighting games, and they like this anime, they're not, like, bothered by anime being too weird, you should be like, yo, man, you should watch this Japanese anime. It's like fighting games, but just boobs and butts. That's it. You don't grab with your hands. You can't even headbutt. It's just boobs and butts.
Classics. All you need. All you need anime.
I think you can convince some anime newbies. I mentioned in the review that might not want anime newbies to watch this. I don't think you can convince people if you tell it like it is and be like, hey, man, you want to watch anime where these girls just like hit each other with their boobs and butts, but it's like fighting games? It's kind of funny. Like, imagine that's funny first. Don't be like, it's a serious sports anime. Because then they'll be like, this is what Japan thinks of sports. It's like, this is a serious sports thing. Because in the intro, they're like, we've had horse racing and gambling. Now we got Keijo. It's a serious sport. Everyone loves it. Because like I said, everyone in Keijo like takes it seriously. It's not a joke to them. But you gotta tell your friends it's just gotta be like, man, look at this funny crap. They got Attack on Titan. And if your friend's like, yeah, man, maybe we'll watch it. Bam, you got them watching the anime.
Yeah, I would say like Keijo. Like I always have like kind of two different minds when you choose anime to start off with, because it's like it always makes sense to start with something sensible like FMA, Death Note. What was the other ones?
I mean, Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah, but like you also kind of want to show shows that are like more weird and can really show like what anime can be like in terms of just creativity, I suppose.
Creativity is one word for it.
And Keijo definitely is one of them. I do think like this is kind of a good sports anime intro for sure. It definitely has the most like wide appeal because like there are a lot of great sports anime out there. Like there's a lot of really amazing basketball, volleyball, football.
Ping pong animation.
Yeah, and sports anime to me are like probably the best quality wise. I'd say just because they often get the most episodes, really great animation, really good soundtracks, and they also have like the best characters. There definitely are tropes that are not as fine with me, but it always kind of disappoints me when I try to convince some of my other friends to like, hey, you watch this basketball anime, and they're like, no, I don't like basketball. And I'm like, but it's not even that basketball-y.
Yeah, I didn't like ping pong. Ping pong animation was like one of the best animes I've ever seen.
Yeah, so definitely Keijo is kind of a nice little introductory course into it, but you know, at the same time, character-wise, it's not like the best. So
it really could have benefited from like a 22 episoder.
Yeah, definitely.
Season.
Yeah, and you know, obviously we couldn't afford it because Zebek sure kind of ran out of money by the end of a couple episodes. He definitely, some of the frames were just like, ooh, this proportion, this makes no sense. So hopefully in the Blu-ray edits, they definitely will clean that up.
Anime is just way underfunded. I don't know why that is sometimes.
Well, probably because it just costs a lot to make, and no one really knows what sells and stuff. So
boobs and butts could go far, man.
That's why we should all be praying to God every day, thanking because we have Kyoto Annie. Their shows are too good looking.
Keijo Annie would have never made Keijo.
Yeah, if they did, I would have cried.
Oh, you got a phone call or something?
Yeah, it's whatever.
Oh, we'll wrap this up anyway. That's pretty much all we got to say about Keijo.
Yes.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Don't tell your family.
It definitely is more of like kind of old school sports anime. Like sports anime now are a lot more realistic with kind of developments. You don't really see super moves that much. Like my favorite, like in my top 10 anime list, my second favorite was Prince of Tennis, and that's definitely a lot more keen to what Keijo is in terms of like special powers and stuff. But now you see a lot more kind of realistic ones, so it's kind of interesting seeing more of an old school approach to Keijo.
Maybe I will watch Prince of Tennis one day.
If you do need it, that would be the best moment of my life.
How many episodes is it again?
170.
It's low. The chance is low, but possible.
It's really fun.
Who knows, man? Tennis, it ain't got boobs and butts, so it'll never be as good as Keijo in my mind.
Got my favorite main character.
Whatever. Keijo, it's not in my top 20 or whatever it is. This just is what it is. That's all I gotta say. Boobs and butts. I love thickness. Peace out.